Ballots are still being counted, but as of this morning's official results in local elections, U.S. House of Representative for District 23 incumbent Jay Obernolte has bested challenger Derek Marshall, with Obernolte winning 58.9% of the vote. In the race for State Senate District 19, incumbent Rosalicia Ochoa-Bogue has bested challenger Lisa Middleton with 52% of the vote. With nearly 80% of polling precincts reporting, a close race for State Assembly District 47 sees challenger Christy Holstage leading by a slim margin over incumbent Greg Wallace. Holstage currently has 50.7% of the vote, leading Wallace by about 2,000 votes. With less than 50% of polling precincts reporting, State Assembly District 34 sees incumbent Tom Lackey besting challenger Ricardo Ortega with 61%. With 6 of 8 polling precincts reporting, the race to represent Twentynine Palms City Council District 1 is currently leaning toward incumbent council member and current mayor Stephen Bilderain, who has 350 votes, or 53%, over challenger Kerry Williams, who has so far received 298 votes. With only 8 of 16 polling places reporting on the race to represent Twentynine Palms City Council District 2, April Ramirez is leading with 265 votes, or 49.53% of the total vote, over Jim Cruchat, who has received 162 votes, and Paul Razzo, who has 106 votes. Stay tuned to Z107.7 for continued coverage on all elections and Twentynine Palms City Council elections in particular, which have been historically tight and have shifted in the days after the election as ballots continue to be counted. The 2 Yucca Valley Town Council members running for re-election were both running unopposed, so Jeff Drozd will continue to represent Yucca Valley Town Council District 2, and Robert Lombardo will continue to represent District 4. With 3 of 5 polling precincts reporting, Morongo Valley Community Service District Board incumbents Christina Gorky and Lance Fisher have won re-election over Janet E. Osborne in a 3-way race to fill 2 seats. With 3 of 5 polling precincts reporting, the 4-way race to fill 3 seats on the Morongo Valley Community Service District Board sees incumbent Johnny Tolbert Jr. with a clear lead of 389 votes, or 29.38% of the total votes. Lynn Watts has 318 votes, Eva Marie Rolls has 312, and Stephen James Hayden has 305. Stay tuned to Z107.7 for updates on this particularly close race. With all polling precincts reporting, Joshua Basin Water District Member Board of Directors Division 3 was handily won by Jane Jarlsberg with 61% over Ryan Matthew Cherlin. With only 4 of 6 precincts reporting, Joshua Basin Water District Member Board of Directors Division 5 was taken by Stacy Doolittle with 68% over Deborah El Troncale. For Copper Mountain College's Governing Board Area 3, Incumbent Mary Lombardo defeated challenger Terrence Latimer with 71% of the vote. In the race for Morongo Unified School District Member Governing Board Area 1, Carolee Hargrove received more than 50% of the vote over Robert Lee Hamilton and Johnny Ray Ward Jr. With less than 50% of polling precincts reporting, Morongo Unified School District Measure C, which provides bonds for school improvements, is currently a yes at 59%. With 55% of precincts reporting, the county's Measure K, which would increase the transient occupancy tax, has failed, with 55% of people voting no. And the county's Measure L, which will increase law enforcement staffing, has passed, with 62% of people voting yes. With 35 of 67 polling precincts reporting, the town of Yucca Valley's Measures Y and Z are currently expected to pass, with more than 80% of residents voting to continue the funding measures. Z107.7's news team will continue to report on election results as ballots continue to be counted throughout our area. Stay tuned for updates. For all high desert gardeners, compost might be coming your way from the town of Yucca Valley. Here is reporter Adeline J. Wells with that and more from last night's town council meeting.
The Yucca Valley Town Council meeting kicked off with 2 public hearings regarding changes to the Development Code. The first was to amend the Land Use Compliance Review requirements to include irrigation and landscape review. This provision is only for small expansions to commercial properties. Projects with over 500 square feet of new landscape area or over 2,500 square feet of rehabilitated landscape area will be subject to the state's Model Water Efficient Landscape Ordinance. The second public hearing was to establish permit procedures to process land use entitlements and development proposals in various land use zoning districts. The Town Council approved both measures. BMLA Landscape Architecture provided the Town Council with an update and digital renderings of the Yucca Valley Sports Complex project at Brem Park. This was followed with a presentation of an agreement with Burtec Waste and Recycling Services for the procurement of recovered organic waste, as required by Senate Bill 1383. The town of Yucca Valley proposes to procure its required 1,786 tons of recovered organic waste in the form of compost, which Burtec will facilitate at a rate of $17 per ton. As the town currently uses between 5 and 10 tons of compost annually, the majority of the compost will need to find use within the community, as noted by Councilmember Merle Abel.
Residents paid for it, so let them benefit by having some of their own gardens. If we're giving it away, can we make sure to give it away to our school district? Can we make sure to give it to a nonprofit in the area? Give it to people that are residents or out there in Landers or in Joshua Tree. Anywhere where there's parks, anywhere there's grass, where compost could be used, I'd like to see it donated here locally, if at all possible.
The council voted to award the construction contract for Phase 1 of the Community Center Athletic Facilities Project. While the first phase must be completed by the end of next year, the project's development timeline hinges on the State Fish and Wildlife Department, as the site contains roughly 70 Joshua trees whose relocation must be approved. Lastly, the council voted in favor of a cooperative agreement with the San Bernardino County Transportation Authority regarding widening Highway 62 from Sage Avenue to Airway Avenue. Reporting for Z107.7, this is Adeline J. Wells.
A traffic stop in Yucca Valley led to the arrest of a man alleged to be in possession of an illegal weapon and drugs. On Halloween, just before midnight, San Bernardino County Sheriff's deputies conducted a routine traffic stop on a vehicle near the intersection of 29 Palms Highway and Adobe Road in 29 Palms. Deputies identified the driver as Richard Heck, 60, and say that he was found in possession of an illegal knife and controlled substances. Richard Heck was arrested on suspicion of possession of a dirk or dagger and controlled substances and is being held at the West Valley Detention Center on $30,000 bail. He is expected to be arraigned on felony weapons charges in San Bernardino County Superior Court today. Today's Water Roundup features the High Desert Water District's 4 p.m. Board of Directors meeting in Yucca Valley and the Joshua Basin Water District's 5:30 p.m. Board of Directors meeting in Joshua Tree. Here's reporter Mike Lipsitz.
Among other items, directors at the High Desert Water District are expected to authorize the general manager to accept a $54,000 low bid for purchase of pipeline materials, after which the board will hold a public hearing to take comments on the implementation of certain energy-related improvements to district facilities by an outside contractor. Today's meeting takes place at the district office on the highway at Eagle Trail. And down the highway in Joshua Tree, the Joshua Basin Water District Board is expected to appoint a new member to the Citizens Advisory Council, followed by a U.S. Geological Survey report on groundwater in the district. That meeting takes place at the district office on Choita Road in Joshua Tree. See this story at Z107.7fm.com for links to both agendas, which include instructions on remote attendance. Reporting for Z107.7 News, this is Mike Lipsitz.
The 29 Palms Book Festival, supported by the City of 29 Palms, the Visit 29 Palms Sponsorship and Event Grant Program, kicks off this weekend. Reporter Hillary Sloan is here to share the exciting schedule of events.
The 29 Palms Book Festival is an ambitious local event lasting 2 days and spans many venues. It will feature book readings, book signings, literary talks, and culinary treats. The festival is supported by the City of 29 Palms, the Visit 29 Palms sponsorship, and the Event Grant Program. Begin your tour of the festival at the 29 Palms Community Center and travel around the city to live talks and readings at different locations. Festival goers can listen to engaging discussions and readings of desert literature, film noir, and much more. Over 35 book signings across 2 days will offer unique opportunities to connect with your favorite authors. Nadia Ramel Clark, a resident of the Morongo Basin who wrote Things I Think About and other works, said she has been writing for years. Still, it was through this book and literary festival that she took the chance and produced a book for this weekend's celebrations.
And then when the opportunity came up to have a book signing and be part of this whole book festival, I was like, let me see what I have. So I started exploring all the writings that I had, and I just accepted, I think, a very particular way. This is how I talk, so this is what I'm going to release. So I started to curate different pieces, and those pieces came together into this book.
Nadia will be reading at Mojave Noir and the 29 Palms Inn. Brown Bag Books hosts a Young Readers Zone at 69225 29 Palms Highway in 29 Palms. The zone showcases a rotating selection of children's literature, art books, and more. Savor authentic New York-style bagels from the High Desert's favorite bakery, 29 Loaves at the Bagel Garden. The Desert General is bringing you an exclusive selection of books by festival authors, local historians, rare titles, and hard-to-find books. For this two-day literary celebration, begin at the 29 Palms Community Center by Freedom Plaza. Free parking is available around the venue. For a full schedule of events, locations, and authors, see this story at Z107.7fm.com. For Z107.7, this is reporter Hillary Sloan.
That's our local news. Hear local news 7 times a day, 7 days a week at 7, 8, 9, noon, 4, 5, and 6. If you hear about news happening, let us know. Email us at tips@Z107.7fm.com. Reporting for the Morongo Basin News Leader, the award-winning Z107.7 Local News, I'm Jeff Harmetz.